super easy, and then nothing ever works. There's nothing is supposed to ever work. Why should things work? If things were working, then the world would be boring. Well, let's go. So I will speak for myself and for Francesco. And cheers. Alrighty. So, what am I doing today? I have no idea. Well, I have an idea, but it's first ever time that I stream on Twitch, so technically I don't know what I'm doing, and yeah, 4 cheers in total. I have no idea what I'm doing technically on Twitch, even because basically 99% of the attendants cannot sign up on Twitch and watch the event, of course. So thank you very much, Twitch. You're a very user-friendly platform, apparently. Why did I choose you? If I could start just like go for live streaming on YouTube, I don't know. I made this choice. It was a poor choice, but let's move on. So today I want to show you that writing a book with ChatGPT is anything but easy. You know, like over the last year, with the rise of LLMs, so large language model that people vulgarly call just AI, artificial intelligence. You saw any kind of a hype. It looks like that thanks to ChatGPT now you can become a successful writer, a solopreneur, a software engineer, a developer, anything. But in the end, if we look at the people still holding these positions, then probably it's not that easy. It's not a bed of roses. Today I wanted to focus on debunking the myth that with ChatGPT you can write a book in 10 minutes and then becoming rich out of it. All automated with ChatGPT. Of course it doesn't work that way. First of all, because AI is not magic. Artificial intelligence is not God, so it's just technology, and as such it has its constraints, it has its limits, it has its problems just like Twitch, and it has its bugs as well. So I'm not saying that it's not possible to write a good book with ChatGPT, but it's way more complicated than it looks like. And today I want to try to write a decent book with you, creating a parody of a popular non-fiction book. And non-fiction book that I'm going to parody with my buddy ChatGPT is 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. That's probably a title that you heard of it, and that probably you even read, or at least you heard some extracts as a YouTube format with some videos with shocking headlines by Jordan Peterson, like Become a Peaceful Monster, all those bullshits. Yeah, it's an interesting text. I'm not a big fan of Jordan Peterson, but for sure he made psychology a popular subject, and that's something positive. And plus, I think that we can extract something funny if we ask ChatGPT to create 12 rules for lives according to its wisdom. So, getting all the wisdom that ChatGPT collected from humankind work and interactions with its interactions with the human users using ChatGPT. So it's going to be a very, very interesting experiment in its own, regardless of the result that we'll obtain. It will probably be a disastrous result, but nevertheless, it's going to be an interesting journey. So what is the step number 1? We got the idea, and now we want to structure the idea. You can think to ask an AI to just write a book on its own from the start. You just give it the title and then it writes everything. No, we had to go step by step. So the number one step is that I asked already ChatGPT to create something. First of all, I told ChatGPT, what is it? So you're a non-fiction writer. And then what are you going to do? You're going to write a parody of Jordan Peterson, 12 Rules for Life, an Antidote to Chaos. This parody book will be called 12 Rules for Life, according to ChatGPT. Draw the rules from the general wisdom you have acquired from your training data, including wise chats had with your users. And now define the scope from which getting the data from. Keep the writing style friendly, humorous, funny, but also wise and deep. Write down the 12 rules. And these were the 12 rules. Now I copy these 12 rules in a document that is called the System Prompt Instructions with a chapter list. And plus I'm going also to set up, I forgot this, the tone of voice. The tone of voice is basically friendly, humorous, funny, but also wise and chapter list. There's one. And then also we define the chapter structure template. Why is that? Because it has a length limit to the output that it can generate each time for each prompt. So that's also another reason why we cannot ask an LLM to create a whole book in one go. Simply it will stop at 1000 words around, like it's between the limit of each prompt is around 1100 200. After that, like, it just doesn't write anymore. It doesn't matter if you tell, okay, write 10,000 words, simply won't. You will stop either right away or halfway, and you will have to tell the AI to continue. Type, please continue. It's not efficient, and sooner or later it will crash. So to avoid this, we already have in this document a chapter structure template to use for each chapter. It also helps us to keep the structure of the book consistent across each chapter. It is really important, especially for non-fiction books. So we have an introduction that I say is going to be about 500 words long. So there is a hook, start on genuine facts. Interesting facts, okay, no, this for another prompt, sorry. Hook, so, and context, provide context for why this story or fact is relevant to the chapter's main theme. Thesis statement, clearly stated the main point or rule that the chapter will cover. Also, this one was created with ChatGPT. I just asked it to create a structure for each chapter. And I gave it one chapter from Jordan Peterson, 12 Rules for Life, the real book, and ask ChatGPT to analyze how a chapter is structured and what components has in it. So basically a sort of reverse engineering, if you may. And then discover that there is a background information, which I want to be around 500 words long as well. So historical, social context, explain the background related to the chapter's theme. This might include scientific explanations, historical context, or social implications. The main arguments, and here is the main body of the chapter, so I want it to be as long as possible, so about 1000 words would be fine. And argument one, it is like a guideline Usually like 3 arguments will be already enough. I'm going to introduce the first major argument or point. Elaborate on the point with details and examples. Evidence. Provide supporting evidence, such as studies, quotes, or case studies. And so on. And then you repeat. 3 arguments will already be enough. That's what the AI discovered from Jordan Peterson book. There are on average like 3 main arguments in each chapter. Then continue with the practical advice, another 1000 words. I will say guardians offer practical advice or steps that the reader can take to apply the chapter's main point in their own life. Examples include real life examples or scenarios where the advice has been successfully applied. Conclusion. Actually, like a conclusion is meant to be short, so like 300 words will be fine. Summarize the key points discussed in the chapter, final thoughts, provide a closing thought or call to action that reinforces the chapter's theme. Like, for example, begin to tidy up your bedroom so that, yeah, it's more complex than you imagine. I know. And yes, for example, tidy up your bedroom so that if you take care of yourself, then you can take care of the external world. Transition, if applicable, provide a hint of transition to the next chapter. If applicable, I would even put in brackets, because when it's in brackets, it's highlight for the training model. So like pay attention, if applicable, don't apply necessarily in every chapter. Like, okay, now in the next chapter we're going to talk about, it can be quite annoying reading that every chapter. And in the next chapter we're going to see why, I don't know, jam is better with butter than without butter. So we don't want that. Let's go again on the chapter list. The ideas for the 12 rules according to ChatGPT is going to be: never trust a cat that offers you financial advice. I don't agree, because cats know more than humans. Definitely cats are better traders, especially in crypto. Humans have no idea what they are going to invest on, and and their predictions are always going aloof. Eat the slice of pizza, but offer it first. Yeah, the last slice of pizza is always the best. And yeah, that's what I do actually, usually. So, do you want it? And then as a response, people tend to be over polite. They say, oh no, take it, even if they want it. And I don't say twice. You said that I can take it, I will take it, even if you didn't have a single slice. If oh yes, the one in the fridge the day after is the best pizza ever. Yeah, as an Italian I can confirm. It's not only American, it's the truth. Number 3, if you don't know what to say interesting. Yeah, when you end up in a conversation, just notice interesting. It's a versatile word that makes you appear engaged and thoughtful, even if you're thinking about what to have for dinner. It always works, especially in dates. Just to say, yeah, interesting, of course. Rule number 4, always keep a spare pair of socks. Well, life is unpredictable, you never know what will step in a puddle. So get caught in the rain or lose a sock in a mysterious sock eating dryer monster. Happened to me, I didn't have a spare pair of socks, and I was at work. I just had to work the office bare feet. Luckily that environment wasn't that corporate, so I got lucky. Number 5, dance like no one is watching, but remember, someone probably is. So feel free to express yourself through dance, but be aware that smartphones exist. So your performance might end up on social media, of course. Unfortunately, you can even be in the forest, there will always be someone watching. Number 6, Never argue with a barista before getting your coffee. It's a very precious rule, very wise advice. Yeah, luckily I don't drink much coffee, so I don't have this problem, but I still ask for tea or for a hot chocolate in winter, so yeah. I should remember this one. Smile and nod until you have that cup in your hand. Use big words when you can, but don't overdo it. Throwing a few big words can make you seem more intelligent and well read. However, overusing them can make you sound like a pretentious thesaurus. So yeah, balance is key. Always. Not only for that. Remember about balance. And rule number 8. Always read the instructions, even if you think that you know what you're doing. Yeah, and I had this problem. I never read instruction manuals. Even though my first ever job was writing instruction manuals. The books that no one ever reads. Uh, Rule number 9, laugh at your own jokes, even if no one else does. I know, it's a secret number 1 comedians. Yeah, they had to laugh at their own jokes, because otherwise the audience will not follow. Unless your stand-up comedy style demands that you remain always with a poker face, but that's about the acting style, and it's very, very hard to control it, even though it can be very, very effective. And rule number 10 is practice random acts of kindness, but don't expect a medal. Yeah, I know, too many people still think that, okay, I will do something nice and then I will receive instant positive karma. It doesn't work that way. Too little people know about that or are aware of this rule. I'm glad that ChatGPT reminded us this. And rule number 11, don't take life too seriously. No one gets away out alive anyway. Yeah, this is pure wisdom. Nothing else to add. And number 12, I'm not sure if I agree. Consult ChatGPT for all life's mysteries. When in doubt, ask ChatGPT. Whether you need advice, a recipe, or a joke, I'm here to help. Just remember, my wisdom is vast, but my humor is even vaster. Wow, I didn't know ChatGPT was so narcissistic. Okay, this is going to be more interesting. Very, very, very good. So, what do we do next? I have an idea. We're going to download this document. And we have also another document. Basically, I extracted from 12 Rules for Life, the overture, the intro, from which we can copy Jordan Peterson's writing style. I was going to use this file in our source of knowledge to fit ChatGPT with, but now last minute my viewer tells me not to use it because this book is called 12 Rules for Life according to ChatGPT. Not only I want ChatGPT's insights and knowledge, but I even want ChatGPT's pure writing style. So I'm not going to train it with Jordan Peterson writing style. I will leave it freestyle. So we are going to create our GPT with only one source of knowledge. So create, what am I doing here? Let me show you again. ChatGPT can create, let's say, some sort of sub-bots that you can train with specific instructions to be more focused and get better results. Because if you use the general GPT model, can still be good, but it's very dispersive, so it's a sort of professional that can do everything but poorly. So we want to instead take a piece of the large GPT's capabilities and train a specific task. Like this one is like a copilot for building websites. Okay, so it does that. You don't ask it something else. Image generator is specialized in generating images, okay, not for writing books. There is the GPT from Canva to design presentations. And today we can create also our own GPT, and we are going to do that because we need something specific. Writing in the most efficient way possible a book that is called 12 Rules for Life according to ChatGPT. Let's go. So, first step, we created. So we tell it that again, like this is the master instruction. And meanwhile, we configure some instructions. So you're a non-fiction writer. You're going to write a parody of Jordan Peterson, Rules for Life. This parody is called Rules for Life according to ChatGPT. And we also tell it this one. So we repeat the main task. No, we don't use any conversation starter because we don't need it. Exactly. So I'm going to call it GBT wisdom. And here, knowledge. The knowledge comes from here. You can upload several files into the source of knowledge according to the task that you want to accomplish. For example, let's say that you are working on a project, a startup project, and you have a business idea, you have a team working with it, and you have many spread documents around, but you don't have a clear vision on where you're going. You can create a GPT that is like the super expert of your startup project that knows everything, so you can feed it with all the documents about your startup that you have. However, be careful because it can be also like sharing confidential data for training purposes, and accidentally someone might steal your idea indirectly when someone asks ChatGPT, give me 5 innovative business ideas. But it's just an example. You can train it with any other kind of documentation. Regional, yeah, it's okay. Sometimes it's American English, sometimes it's British English. Fuck my life. Let's create a logo for it. Let's say what it's going to create. You can upload a photo or create a logo with DALL-E. I like it. Well, always it's a symbol of wisdom, so I'm fine with that. Here we can test it. Let's test it. Right. Chapter 1. I'm going a lot back and forth with the system prompt and ChatGPT. Financial advice. Right. Introduction. Let's see if it responds well. Okay, the series from news that usually resembles stock tips. Sorry as was, but I wonder if there was a mystical feline wisdom I was missing. Could Mr. Whiskers really be the next Warren Buffett or the animal kingdom? Of course, like our first rule, never trust a cat that offers you financial advice. It's a mystical reminder that not everything or everyone that sees to have all the answers truly does. In a world filled with self-proclaimed experts and armchair analysts, it's crucial to discern between genuine advice and playful nonsense. This chapter will explore reasons behind this rule, blending humor with practical wisdom to help you navigate the complex world of financial advice. Cats hold a special place as companions, entertainers, occasional sources of inspiration, and amusing anecdotes. However, when it comes to managing your finances, it's better to leave Mr. Whiskers to his betting and seek advice for professional. I think our GVT already got the task clear. So the test is passed. We have configured what we need to configure. We already have a defined structure. We already have the 12 rules. Yep, it's pretty unbelievable and fun. You're right, Francesco. And I think that we are ready to go. So after 30 minutes, we can already start jotting down the book. And I predict that will take next like 1 hour, 1 hour and a half. Let's see. So we might finish way before time. Let's go. So now we click on create. For now, just visible by only me. This is something, a private task that we are doing, so we don't need to share with anyone. Nevertheless, sharing it on the GBT store. And cheers, I can finish my beer now. So that's it. Let's go to the GBT. Okay, the responses will, each chapter will appear here. So basically what we are doing, the plan is that we are going to set one prompt for each component of the structure. So 5 prompts for each chapter. And we are going to use one conversation for each chapter. So we expect here on the left to appear 12 conversations at the end of the day. Plus 13 one at the end that we can ask. We can assemble the book and we can ask ChatGPT to write a preface about what he wrote and why he wrote it. Oh, also I'm going to create a new Google Doc where we are going to collect all the chapters because we want to assemble the book on a file, right? And also to prevent possible crashes, bugs, you never know what can happen. So 12 rules for life according to ChatGPT. Now we are going to paste here every chapter in solo whenever it's completed. Okay, let's go. So we repeat what we did before. It's organized like this. So we take once again chapter 1, write introduction. I'll write introduction between symbols, brackets, so that the model knows that I'm referring to a specific entity. It's easier. Okay, let's see. I would really like that I write something similar to what I wrote before. Whiskers, of course, Mr. Whiskers. Okay, this introduction is a little bit more, invest in tuna futures. For a moment I wondered if I had stopped in an alternate reality where felons or financial advisors. But then I snapped back to reality and realized the absurdity of the situation. Whiskers, despite his regal bearing and their mystery, knew as much about the stock market as I knew about quantum physics. This encounter, as bizarre as it was, highlighted an important life lesson. Never trust a cat that offers you financial advice. Everyone has an opinion. But yeah, I basically wrote the same thing, but a little less fun than the first attempt. But it's okay. The rule for this rule is that we are going to accept whatever ChatGPT writes. Okay, that's the fun of it. So let's continue. We go back to the system prompt. The system prompt is basically the general rule for ChatGPT to follow in this task. So now we want the background information. So write the background information. Okay, to fully appreciate the absurdity of trusting a cat for financial advice, it's essential to understand the broader context of financial guidance. It's not development of financial expertise. So historical context. I mean, in the final draft, then we don't have to really put like historical context. I mean, we can also remove these titles, but it's something for for another session maybe. How to clean and self-publish a book properly. Yeah, Tuna, the Roman Empire. Kings and Mesopotamia, fast forward to the modern era, the field of financial advice has evolved significantly. The Great Depression in the 30s was a pivotal moment that highlighted the needs for expert financial guardians. Economic collapse led to widespread poverty and joblessness, underscoring the importance of sound financial planning. In response, the US government introduced regulations to stabilize the economy and protect consumers, giving rise to a modern financial advisory industry that, yeah, I dream to be part of. Actually, that's just a secret dream that I have, but I'm afraid that I'm like Mr. Whiskers. Yeah, my skills are like Mr. Whiskers. Yeah, financial literacy has come a long way from its early days. In the past, financial knowledge was often limited to the wealthy and educated elite. Well, isn't it even nowadays? However, the democratization of information and education has broadened access to financial literacy. Yeah, if you really want to, yes, but most people don't want to. Well, governments and education institutions began to incorporate financial education into school curricula, recognizing information citizens are better equipped to make sound financial decisions. Well, in the Nordic countries, it really happens, that's true. In other countries, well, the rise of the amateur financial guru, yeah, the problem with the downside, and I see it here. The digital age has brought a new dimension to financial advice. With the advent of the internet and social media, anyone can position themselves as a financial expert. Yeah, from bloggers to YouTube personalities, the democratization of information has led to a proliferation of amateur financial gurus that, in my opinion, they never know a fuck. And the dire side is that they believe to know more than others. They even mock personalities, accomplished personalities like Warren Buffett, Jeff Bezos, but also other like professional investors of any level. And what did they study? Nothing. Maybe just some marketing course on how to make viral videos on YouTube. But anyway, let's do this first. It's better. To assemble the book. Okay, here. Historical context, social implications. Sorry. Here we go. Very nice. Let's go to the third part other chapter, the main arguments. Yes, exactly. So now the main arguments: understanding why it's essential to seek professional financial advisory and rely on unqualified sources that can save you from potential financial disasters. Yeah, that's something also where we work in crypto. Yeah. We tell all the time, be very, very distrusting. There are people advising you where to buy your next gem. The importance of expertise in financial decision making. Yeah. Planning is a complex field that requires specialized knowledge and skills. Yeah, relying on someone without this expertise, such as your cat or an amateur financial guru, can lead to uninformed and risky decisions. And the study, Now here interesting. Now ChatGPT mentions a study. A study by the Certified Financial Planner Board of Standards found that individuals who work with a certified financial planner tend to save more, invest more wisely, and feel more secure about their financial future compared to those who don't. This demonstrates the tangible benefits of seeking advice from qualified professionals. Yeah, that's what I plan to do when my crypto portfolio will reach 10 million. Entrust everything to a financial advisor and then sleep between two pillows. Nice. So, and the dangers of misinformation. That misinformation is the biggest virus of the 21st century. It's everywhere and invests any topic. Yeah, misinformation now spreads rapidly, and the financial sector is no exception. Amateur financial advisors, despite their confidence, often lack the depth of understanding required to navigate the complexities of financial markets. And this can result in information misleading or false information. How many times we see those advertisements like, forget about any training, just sign up to my webinar and then you will understand how to make 10,000 euros a day in the forex market. Trust me, bro, I know what to tell you. And then nobody wonders why these people, if they are so skilled in trading, if they are so rich, they need to sell an online course. Always wonder that. Then we have even the meme stocks such as GameStop. Misinformation can lead to market volatility and significant financial losses for uninformed investors. Many individuals who jumped on this GameStop bandwagon did so based on hype and speculation and sound financial principles, resulting in substantial losses when the bubble burst. Yeah, by curiosity, what happened to GameStop? GameStop stock price. I'm very curious. Hmm. 1 year, okay, 5 years. Yes, like it really was pumped up at 81, and a lot of people jumped here, and then they lost like 4 or 5 times more. Yeah, well done. Because this is also what happens when people are not financially educated. They buy when everything is green, everything is going up big time, and then they sell when everything is going down. I work in crypto and people all the time tell me like they do this. When it's bear market, nobody contacts me. It's like nobody talks to me about crypto. And when there is a bull market and Bitcoin is like an all-time high and everything else is pumping, they message me immediately, what tokens should I buy this year? I say maybe it's too late. You should have bought some before. Oh yeah. There are psychological aspects that not trusting unlikely sources. Yeah, humans are naturally drawn to charismatic figures and novel ideas, which can sometimes cloud our judgment. And psychological studies have shown that people are more likely to trust information on sources that they find relatable So like, okay, he's like me, and charismatic, like he's a born leader. Even if those sources lack expertise, the halo effect, a cognitive bias where our overall impression of a person influences our judgment about their specific traits, often plays a role in this misplaced trust. This can lead to poor financial decisions based on charm rather than substance. Yeah, guys, I have to say that so far I agree with basically everything that ChatGPT is saying, except with the title of this chapter, because I believe you should always trust cats, no matter what. But yes, let's add this to our book. So, the main arguments, okay. And here it is. Let's go on. What's left? Yeah, the practical advice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, here is repeating itself a little bit because you see, there's something interesting. So it tells us to check the credentials. Well, it's something that is said also there. Practical implications. Understand these arguments as important by ability and otherwise. Check credentials, seek transparency, avoid hype, and here again, check credentials, seek transparency, research and verify, avoid hype, educate yourself. Establish a financial plan, be mindful, okay. I will do this. So since these are like a repetition, if we want to keep our book a little bit consistent, we can just replace practical implication with this last part. Yeah, we can do it. We are not breaking any rule. Just basically the previous paragraph but expanded. Yeah, you need, when you write a ChatGPT, you also need a little bit of flexibility, right? Now, shall we create a conclusion? Maybe let's see what it does if we ask it to create a conclusion. Mm-hmm. And the final thoughts. Okay, sorry, anticipated the let's eat this last slice of pizza, and it creates like a summary of what I talk about, and yeah, the result is acceptable. Now this conclusion is not really irresistible, it's not professional human writer, well, we can live with it. Now this is just the first chapter, let's analyze something. So the word count now, yeah, it says that we have like more than 3,000 words. That is going to make, like, if we keep this average with 12 chapters, is going to make 36,000 words. This means roughly we are going to assemble something like a book that can belong like 180 pages, something like that, which is not bad. It's a decent it's a decent length, especially considering that it's meant to be a humorous, funny book, so that people want to read fast. So 180 pages in like A5 format is more than acceptable. Alrighty, so what's the next step, you think, guys? So the next step, we take the next chapter, we come back to ChatGPT's wisdom and we repeat the process. So it's the chapter 2. I can't spell chapter, really, unbelievable. Introduction. Meanwhile, let me see if someone else came. No. Of course. Still just me and you. Internal server error. You see? ChatGPT is technology, so anything can always happen. Let's try to regenerate. Ah, good. It was just a temporary hiccup. I was like having a heart attack. You see, for participants. And how come that I see only you? Well, now I see Lamb's Peta. Can you identify yourself, Lamb's Peta? Whoever you are. Okay, so now here we have the introduction for chapter 2, eat the last slice of pizza, but offer it first. So there is certain magic to the slice of pizza. It's a culmination of a meal, the final savory note in a symphony of dinner. Wow! And often the most hotly contested piece in the box. Picture a Friday night with friends, laughter echoing off the walls, and only one slice left on the tray. Everyone wants it, but no one wants to be that one to take it. Yeah, you don't want to be the asshole of the night, right? So this is a moment of profound social choreography, a delicate dance of etiquette and desire. Wow, simply wow. I'm impressed. It's already very, very strong intro. So poetic, so strong. We do it for the glory, not for the viewers. Yeah. Yeah, we have someone else in the chat room, but she doesn't want to identify. The silent spectator. Okay, I like it. So it's not just about pizza, it's about understanding the balance between kindness and self-care. By offering the last slice, you demonstrate politeness and respect for others, showcasing a selfless character. However, by eventually eating it, you also embrace the idea that your own happiness and satisfaction matter too. This rule encapsulates a win-win scenario. You appear considerate and polite, but you also enjoy to get a slice if no one else takes it. It's so powerful. Okay, let's add it to our book. Now, what do we have? Yeah, we have the background information, layout, or lay down. Okay, it's talking about ancient Rome and medieval Europe. Nice. In ancient Rome, communal dining was a public display of wealth and social status, while in medieval Europe, the practice of sharing large platters of food was to establish hierarchies. Okay. There are also psychological underpinnings. Cultural variations, of course. Yeah, in some cultures they consider it polite to take the last piece, while in others it may be seen as a compliment to the host's generosity. Yeah, the act of offering the last slice of pizza is far more than a simple gesture. It is a reflection of deep seated historical traditions, social norms, and psychological principles. Okay, this set a very interesting and fun background. And now it's time for the main argument. Lay down the main argument. Will you share this doc with a book, or maybe you will continue it in another life? If it comes out a decent book, I will just assemble it as a book, and I will send it for free to whoever attends this live session. Apparently, it's only one person for now. Well, two, but the other is remaining silent. Oh, the other left actually. Your copy will be worth $1,000. Yeah, you see something interesting is happening. It's basically it's becoming repetitive because it wants to write down the conclusion all the time. So it wants to close the argument, but no, it's not time for closing. So I'm just this time I'm not taking the conclusion because it's exactly what he wrote here, and even here, and even here. Yes. So let's leave out this new conclusion because it's not time yet. It's time for the practical advice instead. Scan the room. I also feel like it's taking the title of the chapter too literally. With Mr. Whisker managed to leave it as a figure of speech, but with pizza, he's really obsessed taking a slice of pizza literally and not expanding the topic for what it is. Yeah. And so this suggests me that ChatGPT was developed and trained by obese people that are obsessed with food. Okay. We can just take this conclusion and close the chapter and move on. And basically already created. The next was conclusion, it already wrote it, so we move on. How do we move on again? So we create a new conversation. Aha, that's my favorite one. Chapter 3. As you can see, the process is quite repetitive. The prompts are all the same because we already have Hegelians. Once you create the master prompt, the rest is way easier, more repetitive, automatic. It can also be boring, but okay, let's do this introduction. You already know parties surrounded by people who seem to have memorized the entire encyclopedias. The conversation flows effortlessly from quantum physics to Renaissance art, And you're caught somewhere between trying to remember if you turned the stove off and decided whether the tiny spinach leaf stuck in your teeth is noticeable. Suddenly, someone turns to you and asks, "What's your opinion on the socioeconomic implication of blockchain technology?" Ah, yeah, this is mine. This is for me. No, as far as I know, there is no way to make ChatGPT write an entire book in one go. Not even with the API. I already tried, and it doesn't work. Your mind races, your palms sweat, and you can almost feel the spinach leaf waving hello. What do? Simple. You smile, not thoughtfully, and say, interesting. Welcome to the third rule of life according to ChatGPT. If you don't know what to say interesting. It's a life hack that transcends the need for in-depth knowledge or even basic understanding. A single word has the power to navigate you through the trickiest social situations, making you appear engaged, thoughtful, and dare I say, interesting. Oh my goodness! So yeah, this is so cool. I'm going interesting, but universal application, of course. Let's include it into the book. Oh shit! I forgot something important. I have to place the chapter title here. Good, heading 1. Yeah, I didn't do it with the others. So, pa-pa-bam. Yeah, better to fix the mess now. Yeah, because like if we assemble book on the Google Doc, you want to know where you're at, especially when you will have like 180 pages. Yeah, you want to know where each chapter is. And chapter 1, and this is educate yourself, establish a financial plan, summary, final transition, and here is the yes, exactly here. I forgot. Oh my goodness. And we are chapter 3, right? Exactly. Interesting. So now that I avoid a bigger damage or getting lost across the manuscript, well, now we use navigation pane, and then at the beginning of the book we can insert the table of content, that is the index, but it's something that we can do later because it takes automatically the headings, so it's not something that we had to concern about it. And the index, like we had a main index in the system prompt, so that's where ChatGPT is taking info from, so it already knows which chapters we are going to write about. Okay, so we wrote the introduction, so we go again about about the background information. And the art of conversational diplomacy. Ooh, wow. Here talks about the Cold War. Diplomats on both sides of the Iron Curtain master the art of non-committal language. Phrases like "we will take it under advisement," That's an interesting perspective. Became tools of the trade, allowing diplomats to acknowledge opposing viewpoints without escalating tensions. These verbal strategies help prevent misunderstandings and maintain a precarious peace during one of the most politically charged eras in modern history. There is also a psychological impact and interesting. The word interesting serves several functions in a conversation. Firstly, it acts as a mirror, reflecting a speaker's enthusiasm and validating their experience. This validation can build rapport and foster positive social interaction. Basically, you become friends. Research and social psychology has shown that people are more likely to feel connected and understood when their feelings and opinions are acknowledged, even in a simple and non committal way, like interesting. Social and cultural relevance as social linguistic of interesting. Wow, it also goes as far as explaining the linguistic origin and implications. Again, I just went into a conclusion. This time I'm not taking a conclusion because I know that it's going to be repetitive. So we just copy this part only. And yeah, we continue with the main arguments. We can't write a conclusion before the main arguments. Yeah, use interesting for everything and you will never lose. Yeah, interesting analysis, conversational engagement, and already said like it builds rapport. Yeah. Yeah, evidence, okay. And interesting bridges knowledge gaps. The concept of face saving and social linguistics refers to the strategies individuals use to protect their self-esteem and social standing during interactions. Yeah, imagine like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. And you're attending a place like an event that maybe you're even advertised as a global level expert. Yeah, it wouldn't be nice. Real life applications, practical advice. So there is the guidance. Effectively use interest in your conversations. Intonation matters. The way you say interesting can significantly impact its effectiveness. Use a genuine tone to convey sincere interest. Follow up questions. When appropriate, follow up with questions like, can you tell me more about that? Remain generic, huh? Of course. What led you to that conclusion? This shows you that your interest is authentic and encourages deeper dialogue. And body language, of course, complement your verbal response with positive body language, such as nodding or maintaining eye contact to reinforce your engagement. It gives examples and so on. It's a conversational toolkit. Yeah, this time at least it doesn't draw a conclusion already. So let's assemble. And let's conclude with the practical advice. So let's conclude because we're sure here. This time I will write the conclusion and it will close the chapter. Yeah, right, they work. So far we are building something very useful. I'm surprised actually. Yeah, this experiment is going beyond any expectation. Yeah, overcoming challenges, like ensure tone and body language are congruent with your words. Practice using interest in a way that feels natural and authentic to you. Stalled in the conversation. Use follow-up questions to keep the conversation flowing. Showing curiosity beyond the initial interest can help maintain momentum and engagement. Be clear. Okay, so basically it's a summary of the whole chapter. So getting a little bit repetitive. You see the dangers of using ChatGPT to write a book? Yeah, you will become repetitive. Now let's go to the next chapter, and after this we'll have a short break because we are already 1/3 of the book. So as you remember, we go back to ChatGPT's wisdom. It's about keeping a pair of socks. I hope that they will talk in a figure of speech this time. Imagine a turn scenario, same meeting, same brainstorm, but this time you have a spare pair of socks tucked neatly in your bag. Find a dry spot, change it to fresh socks, and walk into your meeting dry-footed and composed, ready to conquer the day. This tiny foresight transforms potential disaster into a minor inconvenience. I found wisdom behind always having a spare pair of socks. It's not just about avoiding wet feet. It's a metaphor, I hope so, for being prepared for life's unexpected twists and turns. Let's see. Exactly. So we want to separate it first. Nice. So now we can start. Ground information. Yeah, right. In the end, we can also feed ChatGPT with a final book and run an analysis and provide feedback. Absolutely, great. That's a great idea. Social implications, movements, engaging realist living and decluttering movements, the notion of keeping extra items may seem counterintuitive. Minimalist is not about living with the bare minimum, but also making intentional choices that enhance your life. Okay, a spare pair of socks is a prime example of a small intentional item that can significantly improve daily comfort and preparedness. The conclusion of a ground of our rule about spare socks is rich historical significance, scientific, rational, and social insight. Okay, I trust you. Develop. Main argument. If I use the term develop, we'll create something a bit more structured. Preparedness and confidence reduces anxiety. That's also true. I had to prepare myself for this event. And now I feel a bit more confident than I was 1 week ago. Keeping your feet dry is just not a matter of comfort, health imperative. Yeah, but again, like it just struggles to go out of the metaphor. It takes things too literally. Hmm. Maybe next time in a system prompts, we should correct something like that. Don't take things too literally. And a practical advice. Just draw your essentials, daily routine, morning checklist, checking your sock inventory as part of your morning routine, just like ensuring you have your keys, wallet, and phone. Make it a habit to have a spare pair of socks handy. Yeah. Commute comfort, outdoor enthusiast, parenting preparedness, embrace wisdom with spirit. Starter, well, this is so far is the weakest. It is the weakest chapter by far. This means that we all need a short break, like 10 minutes break, and then I'll be back with you, ready to rock and roll. See you in a bit. So see you back at 35. Welcome back to this epic journey. Again, with only two people in the chat room, but we go on. I'll never give up. Okay, we have reached chapter 4. Always can with a keep a spare pair of socks. We're going to the 5th chapter, the Dance Like No One Is Watching. Remember, someone probably is. Such a long title for a chapter. Okay, let's write introduction chapter. ChatGPT uses a lot of picture this. You're living in your living room, your music's cranked up, and you're busting out your best dance move. The kind you wouldn't even dare to show at the wedding after too many glasses of bug. You're feeling it, losing yourself in the music, and for a moment you're convinced you're a star of a sold-out concert. And out of the corner of your eye you notice a movement. Your cat is sitting there, judgmentally licking its paw. And you remember, smartphones exist. Somewhere, somehow, someone might be capturing your epic, or not so epic dance break. The paradox of modern self-expression, yeah. Because dancing like no one is watching is more than just a catchy phrase, it's a philosophy for life. It's about embracing who you are, imperfections and all, and not letting the fear of judgment stifle your joy. But it's also about understanding the context we live in, where every move can be documented, shared, scrutinized by a global audience. Balancing these two realities is the key to living authentically in a digital age. Oh yeah, dancing with myself. I dance with myself. I don't remember lyrics, right? But oh yeah. I have to create the chapter title first. Google Doc wants to correct ChatGPT, so who's right? Grammatically speaking, we never know. There is never consensus. Yeah, and now it's time for the background information. I think that if I use the term lay down instead of write, it avoids the conclusion. Let me see if I'm right. Yeah. He still wants to write the conclusion. Still, I don't put the conclusion because it's not time to conclude yet. What the hell? So, it's time to develop the main arguments. So develop the main arguments, please. No, still writing the practical. It went on. You went to write the practical advice. Na. and wrote too much because the practical advice is too short. But maybe this time we can develop the conclusion separately. Okay, so now, and this is done. Chapter 5, very good. So now we are going to chapter 6. That seems interesting. Never argue with a barista if forgetting your coffee. Ba-ba-da-bam. Chapter 6. Voila! Yeah, it was the longest chapter probably. So here we have a very short introduction. It's a typical Monday morning and you're running late for work. The sky is grey, your mood matches, and the only thing standing between you and what tolerable day is that coveted cup of coffee from your favorite cafe. You dash inside, hoping the line isn't too long, but then it happens. You get in the mirror tiff with the barista. You get a minor tiff with the barista over the temperature of your latte. A rookie mistake. Baristas are the gatekeepers of your daily caffeine fix. The magicians who turn mere beans into liquid energy. Engaging in a pre-coffee argument with a barista is akin to challenging a knight before they handed you your sword. Smile and nod until you had a cup in your hand. Why is this so crucial, you ask? Because coffee, or rather the act of obtaining it, is a delicate ritual that should not be disturbed. It's a sacred transition that can set the tone of your entire day. So let's dive into the perils of pre-coffee confrontations and explore why it's in your best interest to keep things cordial until you have a cup of coffee, a cup of liquid sanity firmly in your grasp. This chapter is about more than just coffee. It's about mastering the art of patience and recognizing the importance of timing all your interactions. Well, let's see. Ba-ba-da-bam. Oh, yeah, coffee is just more than a beverage. It's a cultural cornerstone, social lubricant, and a morning necessity for millions, maybe even billions. The ancient forest of Ethiopia. Legend has it that a goat herder named Kaldi discovered coffee after noticing that his goats became particularly energetic after eating the berries from a certain tree. Kaldi shared his findings with a local monastery where monks made a drink with the berries and found that it kept them alert during long hours of prayer. Word spread and coffee eventually reached the Arabian Peninsula, then Europe, and finally the rest of the world. Oh, so cute. and with all the history. This time it doesn't create headings. I don't know why. Okay. Well, let's go with it. We can call this history for now. And after the background information, we had the main arguments. Well, this time I use elaborate the main argument. Main arguments. There is a power dynamic. Oh, I feel like I will need a coffee. Yeah, coffee on cognitive function and mood. It's a powerful stimulant that affects the central nervous system. Okay, it's good. And when you step into a cafe, you're entering a space where the barista holds considerable power. Yeah, this power isn't just about making your coffee, it's about controlling the quality of experience of your morning ritual. The barista-customer relationship is unique in that it's based on a delicate balance of mutual respect and understanding. The barista, skilled in the art of coffee making, has the expertise to make your drink exactly how you like it. You, as the customer, rely on this expertise to start your day right. Yeah, exactly. So be careful. Uh-huh. It went all along for the practical advice and the conclusion. Damn it. It's becoming hasty. How many words did you write in one go? Yeah, less than 1000. So this chapter is going to be quite short, I believe. Yeah, 1700. So if we continue like this, yes, we're going to have like way less than 180 pages. Yeah, that's not cool. It is what it is. You see, still, even with the right, the structure of the system prompt, sometimes ChatGPT just goes its way and does what it wants. Okay, then let's skip directly to chapter number 7. Use big words, but when you can, but don't overdo it. There is a special place for those who wield their vocabulary like a sword, slicing through the mundane with eloquence and flair. Picture this: at a dinner party, the conversation flows from the trivial to the profound. It already said that in another chapter about saying interesting. Suddenly, someone drops a word so grandiose, so resplendent that it leaves everyone in awe, or perhaps in a state of mild confusion. You smile, nod appreciatively, and maybe even surreptitiously Google it under the table. Ah, the art of using big words. Using sophisticated vocabulary can make you seem intelligent and well read, a veritable scholar in the midst of mere mortals. However, there is a fine line between sounding erudite and sounding like pretentious working dictionary. It's like adding salt to a dish. A pinch enhances the flavor, but too much leaves a bad taste. So how does one navigate this linguistic tightrope? And ChatGPT is going to explain this. Nice. Nice, very nice. Just a reminder that I should announce that this is the chapter 7. Okay. Background information again. There is a lot of background information. Look at that. From Leonardo da Vinci to Galileo Galilei, from the Romans with Cicero to the 20th century with radio, television, and many other. Mark Twain, Charles Dickens. Wow. Okay, that's impressive. I'm really impressed. Okay, now it's time to develop the main arguments. I say don't write the conclusion yet. Let me try to drive it this way. Maybe this time I will be more precise. You know, guys, like more precise the prompts are, the better is the outcome. The Journal of Pragmatics. So the Journal of Psychology, we had the Journal of Pragmatics, and also the Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin. Okay, well. And also analysis of successful TED Talks revealed that speakers who use a mix of simple and complex language were rated more favorably and had a higher audience engagement than those who consistently used either overly simple or overly complex language. Well, in Italy we say we discover the hot water. I mean, like, it's pretty obvious. And speakers effectively balance accessibility with intellectual stimulation, making their talks both engaging and informative. Additionally, business communication studies have shown that leaders who use sophisticated vocabulary judiciously are often more persuasive and better able to inspire their team, according to research published in the Harvard Business Review. Yay! Okay, so let's go for my arguments. And now, well, yeah, there is room for practical advice. Or develop. As you can see, the outcome has been more structure and higher quality with a more structured prompt. Let's see the practical advice. Hmm. Embrace humor. I'm not just procrastinating, I'm getting strategic delay to optimize my cognitive performance. That's a good advice. In a presentation, instead of saying our synergistic approach will maximize operational efficiency and optimize the resource allocation, you could say our team approach will work well together, making us more efficient and using our resources better. So being familiar with frequency. Use context clues. Provide enough context around complex terms to help your audience infer their meaning. This approach can make your language more accessible without having to simplify it excessively. If you use the term mitochondrial DNA, you might add, which is the DNA found in the energy producing structures within our cells. Read it aloud. That's what I'm doing now, and I'm getting a little bit tired, to be honest. I'm not used to talk aloud for so long. Okay. And now write the chapter's conclusion. Let's see. Yeah, no, now I'm just having water. I think it's better in this instance. The symphony of human interaction, words are the notes that compose our communication. That's so beautiful. Using sophisticated vocabulary is akin to playing a grand piano. When done with skill and restraint, it can produce music that is both beautiful and powerful. However, too many flourishes can turn a masterpiece into a cacophony. Yeah. So next time you find yourself tend to drop, I even don't know this word is quidillion term in a casual conversation, pause and consider. Will it enhance the dialogue or will it alienate your audience? If in doubt, remember that simplicity often carries the greatest eloquence. And with that, let's turn to our next rule, where we explore another vital aspect of navigating life's complexity with wit and wisdom. Yeah, so let's put it in our in our book. Let's move. This chapter was much longer actually. Okay, what is the old doing here? I think on this chapter we wrote something like 2,700 words. Yeah, 1,000 more than the previous chapter. Yeah, that's the way. With a little bit better prompting. I don't know why there was a random roll. Like, no idea. Okay, let's go so to chapter 8. So that is going to be very interesting and reminds me of my first ever job. So it's going to be chapter 8. Let's see what you have for us. Real men don't need instructions. A piece of questionable wisdom has led to more tragic bookshelves collapses, lopsided IKEA furniture, and domestic disputes than one possibly could. Yeah, because everyone believes to me a MacGyver, right? Everyone wants to be a MacGyver, so they don't want to read instructions. But yeah, sometimes instructions are important, especially when it comes to professional operational industrial machines. Yes, it's better to read about the instructions, and I was the guy writing those instructions. Yes, I was writing instruction manuals for industrial machinery. Yeah, cheers. Jim Story. What is Jim Story? So who is Jim? No, very interesting. So he's talking about Jim, but I don't see any Jim. Take for instance, my friend Jim decided to assemble a barbecue grill without a manual. I wonder what kind of app is Jim, because if ChatGPT's friend probably is another AI app. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. So the time my friend Jim decided to assemble a barbecue grill without a manual. Armed with overconfidence and a stubborn belief in his own infallibility, he ended up with a magnificent contraption that looked more like modern art than a functional grill. And when it finally came to time to fire it up, let's just say the smoke signals that followed could have been interpreted as a call for help. Well, while Jin's story is amusing, is a perfect example of the folly that comes with ignoring instructions. Whether it's the assembly of furniture, installation of software, or even cooking a new recipe, instructions are there for a reason. They're a roadmap designed to guide us through uncharted territories, created by those who have already navigated the pitfalls and potholes. Yet many of us choose to bypass this step, confident that our innate abilities will suffice. Oh, well, yes. He was telling me all the breaking down all the structure, of course. In the final draft, we won't need this. You don't want to tell your reader, hey, this is the hook, this is the context, and this is the thesis statement. Okay, so let's put this. Pam 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 pam. Yep. Yeah. Mhm. I think Jim is Homer Simpson. I believe that. Yeah, you're right. Case study is an example. Wow, there is even NASA. 99 NASA Mars climate orbiter disintegrated upon entering a Martian atmosphere because they failed to follow proper instructions regarding unit conversions. Lockheed Martin used imperial units while NASA used metric. Come on. This 125 million mistake underscored the critical importance of adhering to precise guidelines. What kind of serious company nowadays still uses imperial system? That's ridiculous. I mean, Lockheed Martin should bankrupt for this. Yeah, if you're a business using metric system, you deserve to leave. If you're a system that still uses imperial system, you don't deserve to leave. Simple as that. Yeah. Instructions facilitate learning and skill development. Wow. It's going even this time like argument 5. My goodness, it's unleashed. And given the practical advice directly, okay. Yeah, this time I didn't stop it. I didn't say don't write the conclusion. But this time just went wild. We had a wild horse here. My goodness. Yeah. Alright. How long is this chapter? Oh, we got another all around. Da, 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 da. Oh, still came with a decently long chapter. That's alright. Okay, we're almost there. Now let's go into the final part, the last 30%. Laugh at your own jokes. Huh. Huh. Meanwhile, I guess we're still 2 people in the chat. Yes. Nobody has the courage. We can try also that that prompt. I don't understand why it has to put like this line, but anyway. I wrote a pretty long introduction. Wow. Okay, now it's time for the background information. Yeah, this with this prompt looks like we can manage ChatGPT's creative volcano better. Yeah. Comedians like Charlie Chaplin and Lucy Buller revolutionized entertainment, making audience laugh through their own mishaps and absurdities. Their ability to laugh at themselves creating a connection with audiences, demonstrating that self-amusement can bridge gaps and foster a sense of community. Yeah, we should use it in our daily business to make some fun content that can link us to our clients, right? Since everyone nowadays is trying to create a community. Humor varies widely across culture, influenced by language, traditions, and social norms. In some cultures, self-deprecating humor is highly valued, while in others, it might be seen as a sign of weakness. Understanding these nuances is key to appreciating the universal appeal of self-amusement, regardless of cultural differences. The art of finding humor in one's own words and action is a common thread that highlights our shared humanity. For example, in Japanese culture, the concept of ochi, the punchline, is essential in humor, and self deprecating jokes are often used to bring laughter and humility. In contrast, British humor is known for its wit and sarcasm, where poking fun at oneself is a beloved tradition. These cultural perspectives show that while the style of humor may differ, the underlying principle of self amusement remains significant. Yeah, I would say so. What do we have now? It's the background information. Psychologist Carl Rogers emphasizes the importance of self-attacks on personal growth and happiness. Oh well, accepting oneself, including one's quirks and idiosyncrasies, is key to achieving a fulfilled, authentic life. Laughing at your own jokes is a practical manifestation of this principle, showcasing that you embrace your unique sense of humor and individuality. And it's in social. So the arguments are self amusement as a form of self acceptance, and I would say self growth too. Argument 2, building resilience through humor. Argument 3, enhancing social connections through laughter. Argument 4, promoting creativity and innovation. Yeah, playful mindset encouraged by self amusement can significantly enhance creativity and innovation. I'm lucky that I work in an environment that highly values this, and I believe that makes everything better and more productive, believe it or not. That's why I can't see myself going back to corporate. Not that I ever really been into classic corporate, but I don't think I would accept the offer anytime soon. Argument 5, benefiting physical health through laughter. Oh yes, laughter is so healthy. Nice. Let's put it in the book. This this chapter is amazing. Lay down the practical advice, and for sure we will write out the conclusion. We have enough material, so I think we can be happy with that. So foster creativity with playfulness. Incorporate play into your routine, surround yourself with humor, collaborate creatively. Gives also some examples. Creative projects, problem solving, guidance. And then the conclusion, of course, I expect that. So it's okay. I think we can put it in the book. And of course, like the all wants to be part of the book. Okay. How many words do we have so far? Well, already 22,000. Not bad, not bad. Let's go to the chapter 10, then we will have the last break before the conclusion. We can do this. We can do this all together. Chapter 10. Practice grammar anatomies. Let's write the introduction. Woohoo! Magic at work. I think he just got well beyond the introduction. There is the context, basically. Yeah, it's already written the context, so that is the background information. So I would say chapter 8. Chapter 8 is, no, chapter 10, sorry. I don't know why I said chapter 8. I really like the chapter 8, you know? Yeah, this is very profound. Maybe not so funny, but it's going to be a very important chapter, so let's treat it properly. So, since it already laid out the background information, so we're going to expand the main arguments directly. Kindness improves mental health. Yeah, Joonto Potter. So kindness improves mental health. Kindness strengthens social connections. Yeah, I believe so. And kindness enhances personal fulfillment. It's similar to self-amusement in the end. There is a continuity here. There is also kindness creates a positive feedback loop. Kindness cultivates empathy and compassion. Absolutely. Yeah, let's go for it. And now we need, practical advice. Practical advice makes me curious. Start with small gestures, make it a habit, be mindful of opportunities, practice anonymity, involve others, reflect and celebrate. I'll give some examples. The commute hero. A commuter is an elderly woman struggling to carry her groceries, so stops helping. A community cleanup. I love doing the beach cleanups. These are so rewarding. Create a kindness jar. Keep a jar filled with ideas for random add to kindness each week. Draw a slip and complete a suggested act. This can be a fun and spontaneous way to incorporate kindness into your life. Yeah, this time ChatGPT didn't run astray, so it's learning probably. Okay, we finally we have another interaction in the chat that is just about stating that he can get me, yes, spam cheap viewers. Even here, it's like as Instagram wasn't enough. Now we are famous. Nice. Okay, and now we have only 2 chapters to go. Now, that is important. Like, no, don't take life too seriously. No one gets out alive anyway. And then the conclusion that is consult ChatGPT for all life's mysteries. And we are going to make it to complete them in 10 minutes. So see you again at 30. You're very expensive, Francesco, I know. See you in a bit.